Well, welcome back to this week's game hunt on Whizbit's Random Gaming, and I got off work a little bit early today, so on the way home I thought let me go and check out a branch of CEX that I haven't been to in some time, and that is Camden Town. If you haven't already and you do like this sort of content, please consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a share, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff, it's much appreciated. Now straight away as we look in the window, there is some sun faded games. It Takes Two there looks like it was made in 1977, just like me. Very clean red PS5 control pad here, very good condition. Price is almost unrecognisable. £65, I only know because I was there and I remember. Now this is a cool looking piece, not for me, and it's only £5 and I've never seen anything like it in CEX. Now I'm still debating on whether or not to replace my hideous PlayStation 5 with the slightly less hideous PS5 Slim. However, I've got a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be a PlayStation 5 Pro or whatever they want to call it out towards the end of this year. Maybe I'll just hang out and see what sort of pricing that comes out at. Now I've never seen one of these in a CEX. Well, you can always heat your coffee up in that bad boy. Now the PlayStation 5 controllers, they do have limited colours that they release them in. However, I will say this, the colours that PlayStation choose are absolutely fire. Now an absolute classic game there, Jackie Chan Stuntmaster on the PlayStation 1, weighing it £160. I remember playing this game back on my chip PlayStation in the late 90s or early 2000s, and I think I paid £5. I would love a copy of that, and I would pay quite a high price. In all honesty, it's a good game. I don't think I'd pay £160 for it though. Now I recently traded in my PSP that was pretty much exactly the same as the one you're looking at right now. Didn't want to start another collection, so I've got the PSP sitting there, so I thought rather than start collecting for another console, let's get rid of it. And to be honest, I brought a rather good couple of games out of the voucher that I obtained for it, so no regrets there. Now we all know that the Switch 2, or whatever Nintendo are going to call it, is going to be announced at some point in the near future. What I'm wondering is, will we see a dramatic price drop in the Switch and the Nintendo Switch OLED? Similar to how we did with the GameCube. Do you remember when the Wii came out? GameCubes were like £10, £20 in Game Station. They could not give them away. Now this control pad on the Xbox, much better than the Duke, if you ask me. I know that control pad has its fans, but hey, each to their own. I just don't agree with you. Now it's a surefire sign that a shop has got a lack of stock when they display their games outwardly like this. Now I was thinking about picking up True Crime New York. I don't have that one in the collection. However, I'm trying to buy a few more OG Xbox games, and I think I'd like to get it on that system just to boost my collection. I've got enough PlayStation 2 games, and where there's a variant on the OG Xbox, I would rather pick that up currently. That's just my current collecting mood. Headhunter's gone up in price. I remember buying that for £1 recently. And this monstrosity was here the last time I was here, and it was £1. It's now gone up to £2. And Little Britain somehow obtains a £3 pricing. All in all, not a very inspiring PlayStation 2 selection here today. Right, let's have a look at the PlayStation 3 selection that Camden Town have got in stock. Now, is this a good game? Conan on the PlayStation 3. At £5, I wouldn't mind picking this one up. I'm going to consider it today, but yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing from you guys to let me know your experience with this game. Now, similar to the PlayStation 2, unfortunately quite an uninspiring PlayStation 3 section here today. However, this isn't one you see every day, and I must say there's some really good games on this compilation. However, I think I've got all of the games individually, and £25, I'll pass on this one. Now look, this is infuriating. Cover reprinted, and it's look at that, you can't even see the P on the PS3 logo. I believe that's a £35 game, and I'll put money on it. No one is going to purchase that game with that disgusting left-hand triangle. Now, I was interested in that Risen 2, and again, all you see is the PlayStation logo blocked with reprinted cover. £5 or not, I don't want it. There's going to be a video dropping soon on my channel discussing the reprinted covers. I don't know, I just think it's really, I understand why CEX did it. You know, we'll go into that in the video. But I don't think it's the perfect solution, especially when you're trying to offload from your business, from your store, expensive games. This Legend of K on the Wii U, cover reprinted once again at £20. That seems to have gone up in price. I remember that was around about £12 not too long ago. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. So yeah, as you can see, the Wii U and the Wii section it's deader than a George Romero zombie. Even PSP games there with cover reprinted, you don't see that too often. So it's been pretty much a blowout on the PlayStation 2 stuff, pretty much a blowout on the PlayStation 3 stuff. The Wii stuff was not even, it wasn't even worth filming, but I did so. Now, I don't normally film the DS stuff. I do get requests to show the DS stuff from a lot of people that collect it. And in all honesty, I did it today because of the lack of content that I was finding in this particular branch on the day. Got Bully there on the 360. Probably the best way to experience that game. One of Rockstar's forgotten games in a lot of ways, isn't it? I would absolutely love to see a remaster of that game somewhere down the line. So underrated, and it drove me to finish it. It was very compelling and I enjoyed it a lot when I first bought it on the 360 back in the day. More so than your Grand Theft Autos for me personally, because I just don't see an end to them games. It's just too much for me to do. And when you get older, like myself, you've got responsibilities. You can't be spending all that time on your GTAs. Yeah, I'd love to be honest with you. It's great fun, but I like a more flexible game now where I can start at the beginning, get to the end within a few hours or a couple of nights, you know, a more linear experience. Now, I've recently been playing this one, Saw, but I've got the PlayStation 3 version. I don't believe there's any difference, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a really good game, and one that I would not have expected to have been a good game, considering it's a movie tie-in. We all know how bad some movie tie-ins can be. People just expect the name of the game to sell and take very little effort when creating these sort of games. We've all been burnt in the past. Old Michael Schumacher has seen better days there. I'm sure he's got a much better tan in real life than that cover that you saw there portrays. I've never heard of this game, but I had a look. It seemed to be cheap at £4, and you can unearth some real gems on the Xbox on the cheap. It does tend to be a lot cheaper to buy for than the PlayStation 4 and 5, anything within the PlayStation current sort of gen stratosphere, and for that reason I'll always buy it on this system. I quite like it. It looks a lot better physically than the PlayStation 5 abomination that they gave us. Now, although it's a system that I do still buy for occasionally, I kind of feel mentally that I'm done purchasing for the PlayStation 4, especially when it comes to CEX and what their stores tend to stock. I think I've got everything that I really need or want. Anytime I buy on a PS4 now will be if I discover a hidden gem or something that is a strictly limited type game. Now, I'm not too sure about this one, a Desolation. It doesn't really look like my sort of game, but if anyone's played it, I would appreciate some feedback, because I do like collecting for the PlayStation 4 and I wouldn't mind a few extra games in the collection. Anyone for some GTA? Camden Town has got ya. Now, It Takes Two is a game that was released on pretty much every system out there, but for some reason it's quite difficult to find in a CEX store on the Xbox, which I wanted to go back and play it again with one of my kids. He really liked that game, and our save file got corrupted. But finding it on the Xbox is quite difficult. In the meantime, I have since purchased it from Argus. It was on sale there at the same sort of price that you would get it in CEX. I think £20 for the Switch version, and it's £28 in CEX. I'll always purchase the Switch version over the other sort of versions, your PlayStations, your Xboxes. Reason being, me and my son can play that anywhere. You know, we can set it up on a table, carry on playing it, whilst mum is watching whatever soap opera she might be watching on that particular night. Now, if anyone doesn't have that Sonic Mania up there, it's been out for years, but it still holds up as possibly the best 2D anyway Sonic game that has ever been created, in my opinion. Shout out to Sonic Superstars, which was released at the tail end of 2023, I believe. Really good game, in a similar vein to the one there I just mentioned, Sonic Mania, but not quite as good. Now, this was really interesting. I do love a bit of Nintendo Switch cardboard, and I do like old sort of rarities. You know, this is based on a prototype, as you can see here. Now, it also states it's a shmup as well, which has also made me think, yeah, I might pick this up. It looks nice. However, I consulted with my main man, the Retro Ghetto. He owns that game, and he said to me it's a very strange game and doesn't play like a conventional shoot-'em-up. So for that reason, I passed today. I think I'm going to come back and do a little bit more research on that particular title before I potentially take the plunge. Now, this one looks like a very interesting title. One I'm going to go home again and do some research on. I do like to take a punt on Switch games sometimes, but that one just looked to me that it's something that I think I need to look up more before buying. Now, I've just noticed when I'm editing this video, there was a copy of No More Heroes 3 there. I didn't see that at the time. I would have picked that one up today. Taito Milestones 2 is coming down in price. I'll happily buy that when it gets to sort of £10 range, because it's full of good games, but games I can pretty much play in a number of ways. Definitely going to be picking up Taito Milestones 3 though. It's going to have all 3 of the Rastan Saga games on it. So yeah, probably not day one purchase, but definitely going to purchase nevertheless. Now, what in the name of a fried Mars bar is this? This looks like absolute rip-off city. Look at that, they're not even hiding it. Tetris, for, oh my god. There was a strange part of me that was tempted to pick that one up and try it, but yeah, the common sense aspect of my brain told me put it back. I'm definitely getting a lot pickier when it comes to picking up games lately. A lot of that is down to space, but also I'm looking at a lot of games within my collection that I'm probably never going to play. I'm trying the best I can now to pick games up that I have every intention of playing going forward. Has anyone out there watching this video tried this Happy Funland game? It was supposed to be the big VR game for the PlayStation VR 2. I saw some really mixed reviews on that one. It's a real shame, the PlayStation VR 2, it's pretty much been abandoned at this point by Sony, and I was really hyped for it when it came out. I enjoyed the first incarnation of virtual reality on the PlayStation 4, and I thought things could only get better, and I'm sure they have in a technical manner. However, the support on the system is so minimal from a parent company. It's abysmal, and it's a real shame to see. I've not heard of this game White Day before. I'm going to go home and speak to someone who's a bit more in the know with the horror games like this than myself before I potentially purchase it. I don't work too far from this branch, so it's easy to get down here. Now, I only picked up one game today, and this one was at the counter when I was trading something in. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. And I've been told that this is a really good horror game. It's Madison on the PlayStation 5. I've had 2 or 3 people tell me that this is quite an unnerving game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that one. There's not enough PlayStation 5 games in the collection as it is, so it's always nice to boost that, because as I've said many times, it's the generation of consoles that for me personally has been the most uninspiring. Now that's not going to be for everyone. I think that's more of a place of where I am in my gaming life right now compared to where I was maybe 10-15 years ago. I'm sure that the PlayStation 5 and whatever kind of Xbox you might own, they've all got their fans, and I think it's more so what sort of gamer you are. For me, I'm definitely more of an old school retro gamer, so I'm kind of struggling to find stuff on these new systems. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.